So let's talk about, in a world of AI, what are the skills that survive? And what are the professions that you believe survive? If you've got children, Daniel, when they come to you and they say, Dad, I'm hearing about all this AI stuff and I've seen these robots in China doing backflips. What should I be learning now to make sure that the next 20, 30, 40 years of my career is prosperous?
It's the entrepreneurial skill set that is the most important skill set. It is essentially the skills of identifying an opportunity, prototyping fast and cheap experiments to see if you've got something that people want, taking it to market, making your initial sales, scaling up to your addressable market, and then exiting and then coming up with a new idea. Because even if you're in a big corporate, they're going to want to prototype things, they're going to want to spin out new products, they're going to want to come up with new initiatives, and we need to step through that process of, is this a good idea or not? Can we validate it? Can we scale it? Right? And you want to go through that process as fast and as cheap as possible, the way an entrepreneur would.
And on that first point of identifying a good idea, now, is there any way to know if the idea that I have is a good idea or a bad idea?
Yeah, this is a step that entrepreneurs call validation. And the rookie entrepreneurs that fail, they don't do this step very well, right? So they don't do market validation, they don't do product validation. They simply get excited about an idea and then they go all in on the idea. And what really experienced entrepreneurs do is that we come up with ways to do fast, cheap experiments. So for example, last year I had 2 ideas and I actually kind of liked one a lot and I liked one a little bit. And what I did is I set up a waiting list campaign and I basically invited people to join the waiting list for idea number 1. And about 750 people joined that waiting list and they filled in a set of questions so that I knew that 750 people were interested in this idea. This was my favorite idea. And then the second idea, I invited people to join that waiting list. And 4,500 people joined that waiting list. So even though this wasn't my favorite idea, it was way more exciting for people and it was sitting on top of a much bigger need. So off the back of collecting 4,500 people on the waiting list and collecting all the data and the information, we went to some angel investors about a week later after doing that, and we raised £250,000, so about $300,000 or $400,000. And all of that took about a week or 2.
With that example, how do you know that the business itself and the delivery of that idea actually meets their expectation? Because I can think of multiple examples where someone clicked on an idea that I had, but actually the delivery of that idea fell short of expectation. Because sometimes things can sound good when you see the flyer or the poster or the advert, but the reality of the experience is actually not that great.
So let me walk you through the 6 steps quickly. Step 1 is called founder opportunity fit. And founder opportunity fit is finding something that you want to do. Step 2 is validation, right? So this is where we actually try and see, is there a market? Could we build something? Could we sell something, right? So that's 2 validation. Can we build it? Can we sell it? Step 3 is called product market fit. And this is the next step where you're actually trying to figure out, can we actually make this live up to people's expectations so that they really like it? Is there a group of people who buy this and they're happy with the purchase? And we want to do that carefully and cheaply. And then finally, once people say, or the next step, once people say, yes, we can do that, we go to market. And go to market is making sales. And then after going to market, we scale up, right? Step 5. And then the final step is we exit. So we go through those 6 steps and we call that a value creation loop. And that value creation loop goes through those 6 steps and each step has its own little job. And what we're trying to do is just validate, go to the next step. Achieve the milestones, go to the next step. And that's how we do it as entrepreneurs.
So in a world of AI, are there any particular opportunities that you think are new and exciting that anybody listening right now could pursue to make money, whether it's passive income on the side or to leave their current role and pursue entrepreneurship for?
Well, the starting point is that everything is an opportunity, because what do entrepreneurs do? We find things that could be done better, faster, cheaper, or with more emotional benefits.
But has AI created any particular interesting opportunities in your view that you think that's a huge arbitrage opportunity?
I think one of the best opportunities is a small SaaS company. So software as a service was an elite level business opportunity that very, very few people could enter. That was something that only maybe tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of founders at most globally could have a software company. So it was very, very elite. And the reason it was elite is because it was very, very hard to mobilize the talent required to build a software company. You probably needed, maybe 10, 20 or 30 developers to build a software product that would actually be a good software product. You needed to raise millions of dollars to get through the costs of developing software companies. And you probably needed 10,000 customers to have a break-even software company. Now, because of AI, all of those costs have massively come down. And there are software companies that are wildly profitable that have 500 customers or 1,000 customers. They service a tiny little niche. They attach a community and some media and some training to those little software niches. So one of the most exciting things is that if you essentially said that I would like to take what I know, turn it into a playbook, take that playbook, ask AI to advise me on what software we could create, and then use AI tools to build out that software, you're able to get very deep into that journey for almost no money.
I was thinking about this the other day because in my company, we're rebuilding our entire ATS ourselves. So an ATS is basically the system you use when you recruit people. Everyone's name goes into the ATS. It's kind of like a search
Applicant
engine.
tracking system.
A database of where candidates who have applied for your company currently are. And over the last couple of years, I've paid tens of thousands of dollars every year for an ATS for my companies. And this year I thought, actually, I reckon we could build an ATS in a couple of weeks ourselves. And it could be bespoke to us. So we started that project. I saw the first version of it yesterday. We started a week ago. And the first version, the version of it I saw was like, oh, this is significantly better than what we were using before because it's bespoke.
Yeah.
And this made me think about the opportunity of creating software generally, which is that in a world where it becomes, as you say, like cheaper, easier, faster, we're all going to be using more software, but we're probably not going to be paying other people for their software, especially when it's these kind of tools, productivity tools and systems.
If it's purely a tool, it's very easy to replicate. But if it's a tool that comes with a community, if it comes with education and training, if it comes with agents that...
Education and training?
Yeah. So like, for example, if you were to do an ATS, right, an applicant tracking system, a hiring tool, and you had the DOAC system and method that I can go and attend the training as to how you onboard people, how you...